Scotland is home to a thriving sector, with Glasgow building more small satellites than anywhere else in Europe. Companies across the country are developing new technology in satellite data, climate monitoring and communications. Launch sites, such as those planned in the north of Scotland, aim to make the UK more independent in space access and transform Scotland into a key European launch hub. But space isn't just about rockets. It's about data, climate science, engineering design, cybersecurity and sustainability. It's about problem solving, and behind every satellite launch, there's a team of engineers.
My name is Kulwinder Bhumbra. I'm the Chief People Officer at AAC Clyde Space.
How much has AAC Clyde's industry collaborations affected skills development?
We are focusing on building, developing and basically evolving skills development in the sector. And we are involved in various sort of active industry collaborations to just help support the development of skills in the sector. So that is, for example, working with educational institutions like the college. We also engage with other space agencies and partners to try and really focus on skills development.
Has AAC Clyde Space contributed to the invitation of Scottish space industry?
So the founder of Clyde Space is Craig Clark, and he was one of the key people to create the space industry within Scotland. And we believe that gave the catalyst for other companies and businesses to basically grow the industry.
What future projects and objectives do AAC Clyde have?
We'll continue to grow our space as a data service business, focusing on Earth observation for applications in agriculture and forestry in the maritime domain, with next generation communication services for maritime safety and security. We'll also continue to develop innovative technology solutions in the small satellite market.
Joining us now is Stuart McDowall, Head of Innovation in STEM at City of Glasgow College. So Stuart, how does City of Glasgow College collaborate within the space industry in Scotland?
So the City of Glasgow College are kind of in its infancy in terms of how we're engaging with the space industry. The college has predominantly been kind of focused on things like maritime and nautical studies, construction built environment and various other curriculum propositions. But about 3 years ago we entered our first project in the space industry where we had to collaborate and I think engage with companies like AAC Clyde Space, Alba Orbital and others to create a suite of micro-credential programs to support people that wanted to transition from existing industries into the space sector. We also engage the industry through a few different networks, the most recent one being the Space Universities Network, which is a UK-wide network of other higher education institutions and colleges, and looking at collectively across the UK, how does education support industry, but clearly industry specifying what their needs are going to be a critical part of that partnership.
And how would you say the college cultivates the skills of the next generation of the space industry?
Well, again, a lot of that comes back to almost kind of reverse engineering. We need to understand where the sector's going, where the growth sectors. Again, AAC Clyde Space talk about the role of Earth observation for the maritime industry. So as an institution, we need to understand the needs of the industry to then effectively work back the way to produce and create curriculum. One of the ways that we do that, and again through our UK Space Agency project, was to co-create programs around things like sustainable satellite manufacturing, electronics and eco-design, and also trying to give people an understanding of what it means to operate within the space industry. So engineering, for example, engineering things on planet Earth are completely different as to where you would engineer things up in space.
Yeah. And to the best of your knowledge, what future plans does City of Glasgow College have within the space industry?
So again, we don't necessarily see it replacing existing curriculum, but again, with alignment into things like engineering and maritime, I've been working with the faculty of Nautical and STEM to look at sort of kind of 3 key things that we can do to try and support the industry. So one would be to continue to promote our micro-credential programs that are being developed. The second one would be to look at how do we integrate space provision or space kind of projects or topics into existing electronics or engineering curriculum. And then the third one would be what new projects or new curriculum might be developed.
Hello, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm 21 and I'm studying Aeronautical Engineering in Glasgow, and I'm currently in my final year. I knew I wanted to go to uni, so it was more when I was starting to apply for courses, and I knew that I wanted to do maths or the sciencey because I was probably better at that than usual at the other things. And I just kind of googled like maths and science courses, and engineering came up, and I didn't realise how many disciplines of engineering there was, and I seen aeronautical and I just thought that'd be really interesting, so here I am. Nautical engineering, there's quite a few sectors that you can go into even within that. So some of the examples are like working in an airport on standby, in between the flights, or in a hangar for like more long-term maintenance. And then obviously the design part of an aircraft and actually physically building an aircraft. I would say that what interests me more personally is being on standby in an airport. I just think that no two jobs would be the same, and I don't really like repetition very much, and I like to kind of mix it up and switch up what I'm doing from day to day, so I think that would probably be best suited to what I'm interested in. In terms of the progression, like obviously the generations before us, like it's not really been, the stereotype has been like men for engineering and men for like STEM subjects, so yeah, I would say it does progress, and like especially with social media, I feel as if girls can definitely see that like more women are trying to break into that field, and they kind of take that on board and go from there. Seeing men picked to be first or picked more often or whatever, like I would say so. I hate playing the misogyny card, but I would still say that there is misogyny like everywhere. And I do actually believe that most of the time the people who are partaking in this, like they don't actually mean it, like they're not malicious about it. It is just, as I said, like the younger generations, they're not used to seeing women in like fields like this. So for the most part I would say that it's pretty innocent and it's just not used to it, even though it shouldn't be like that. But yeah, I would say even in like group projects or when I'm applying for internships, you just feel as if you need to try a bit harder or just prove yourself that bit more that you see men in the group not like needing to do. I would just say go for it. Like, it's very daunting. Like when I was going in first year, like it was very daunting to know that I could be going in here and potentially being the only female and not knowing how other people would react to that and not knowing how you would get on. But like again, as I said, I don't regret anything that I've done, and because there is more women that I'm expected to be in the course, and I just think in the courses to come there's going to be even more of that, to hopefully we get to a point where it's like an equal split of men and women. So yeah, just go for it, and what's the worst that could happen?
This is where organisations like Scottish Ike are making a difference. Through initiatives such as our micro-credential courses, we're helping students and professionals gain industry-relevant skills. By giving the next generation different platforms, different ways to achieve their route to industry, we're giving them a better path to success. The micro-credential courses are short and focused programmes which help bridge the gap between education and industry, opening doors for a more diverse talent to enter the field.